Hey guys, and welcome to a brand new video here on FPL Now. Today we're going to go over some knee-jerk reactions for Game Week 35 and also how I'm currently doing in double Game Week 34. So if you're excited for the video, drop a like down below, leave a comment how are you currently getting on in double Game Week 34, subscribe if you're brand new, and let's get into the video. So, starting things off, this is how I'm currently doing in double Game Week 34. So far, so good. Cannot complain. I'm currently on 70 points with a Game Week rank of 142k. Obviously, I didn't take any hits this week. I just transferred Saka and Watkins out for Greenwood and Salah. So, obviously, I don't have any Trent or Grealish or anything like that. But, obviously, not taking any hits. It's so far been okay. Like, obviously I would have got like Edison in for a hit, and he's only currently on 1 point. Raya only getting 2 points was a bit unfortunate, but so far Raya's are outscoring Edison. I don't think he's going to for the remainder of the game week, but at this point in time it's not been that bad. So yeah, currently on 70 points. Raya got 2 points, Estepinian getting 9, but my lord, he could have got a massive haul in that game. He had 2 really good chances that he definitely should have scored, and if that goes in, then he's getting 20 odd points out of one get. It would have been ridiculous. So really happy with the 9 points, but it could have been so much more. Trippier only getting 2 points again. It's just, I don't know what's going on, man. They just cannot keep the ball out of the back of the net. I mean, they are literally at home to the worst team in the league, and they still concede. It is absolutely crazy. But yeah, Trippier only getting 2 points. Shaw picking up 7 points, which was quite nice. Did get a bonus point. He is playing centre back at the moment, which isn't great because it does stop him from like pushing forward and stuff, but you know, it is one of those things. At least he's playing. I missed so many United clean sheets with the Shaw injury, so it's nice to have him back and actually be getting me some clean sheet points. Fernandez finally rewarding me. It's so nice to have him in my team and actually doing something. He scored, got maximum bonus, obviously got the clean sheet point as well, so 11 is really nice. Still has another game to go. Mitoma and March only getting 1 point each. I mean, it was such a crazy game. Like, obviously they won 6-0. March was on the pitch for I think like 4 or 5 of those goals, got nothing, and then obviously Mitoma and McAllister came on, but they also picked up 1 point as well. So yeah, it's crazy that the only return that I got was an assist from my defender when I had like 2 attacking Brighton players on in a 6-0 win. But that's how it goes. They should all be fine though for the next game, but it is United. I've got 3 Brighton against 3 United in the game on Thursday. So yeah, I don't know. Do I want it to be a goal fest? Probably, with Estepinian and Shaw like getting assists would be perfect. Rashford getting 6 points. Again, a pretty bad game from Rashford, to be fair. He did miss quite a couple of chances, and the assist was just, it was just one of those assists where he shoots, it ricochets off the keeper, or he saves it, parries it somewhere else, and then Fernandez just kind of slots it in. And then Salah picking up 7 points as well. Gakpo at the moment was the player to go for. He is currently on 8 points, I think, with the 2 assists. Haaland did get a goal. He got a penalty in the first couple of minutes, and for me, I mean, for most people, like, it's actually bad when Haaland returns because he's over 200% expected ownership because people have been triple captaining him. So yeah, it's actually bad when he does a return. So it might be nice when your captain returns, but because so many people have triple captained him as well, it's actually gonna hurt your rank. And then King Kane as well. I was so like worried when Liverpool went 3-0 up in like, you know, 10 minutes. Trent got an assist. I was like, I've made the worst decision. This is going to really hurt my week. But then Spurs did bring it back. Kane did get the goal. I mean, there was so many, like, I'm not a fan of Tottenham or Liverpool, like, in terms of, I don't support either of them. As a neutral, I thought that the refereeing in that game was absolutely abysmal. Skip probably should have been sent off for the tackle on Diaz. I've seen red cards. I feel like if it was given as a red card, it wouldn't have been overturned, but he did also kind of get the ball first, but it was still a really bad challenge. I thought it was a penalty on Richarlison from Konate. Literally had his arms all around him. I think if the referee gave that, it wouldn't have been overturned. And then I think the Jota incident on Skip was one of the worst decisions I've ever seen in like football. Like, he literally studded his head. He was bleeding, and it was just a yellow card. I don't understand. Like, if you're a Liverpool fan, I don't know how you can defend that. Like, he literally had his studs in his head and was bleeding, but I mean, Skip potentially should have been sent off as well. But I just thought the officiating in that game was absolutely ridiculous. Klopp also pulling a hammy, celebrating the last goal. I mean, in terms of like actual goals and the game to watch as a neutral, it was actually a really good game. But yeah, I thought the officiating was absolutely dreadful in that game. Don't know why I'm talking about that when I'm trying to be talking about FPL, but either way, that was just my 2 cents on the situation. But Kane got 8 points, but yeah, I thought they probably should have had a pen as well, which would have been really nice because he probably would have scored it and then would have got max bonus. But yeah, very happy to still have Kane, and hopefully Trent and, all the Liverpool players will not keep a clean sheet on Wednesday, I believe they play, and also hopefully City don't as well. But this is how I'm currently on, 70 points. I've got 8 players left to play, which again, a nice green arrow, but a lot of people have got a lot more players than me. People have still got like 13 players, so yeah, not expecting like a massive lucky kind of portion of the next half of the game week as well. Anyway, let's move on to the knee-jerk reactions for game week 35, and Wilson is the most brought in player this week. This one's really tough because I mean, Arsenal at home isn't a great fixture to bring him on in on, but I mean, Leeds and then Brighton, the double on 36. Most people are going to have double Newcastle defense, and then I think it's just who do you bring in out of Isak and Wilson? Like, Wilson's not been starting games, but he's just been bagging goals. And Isak's obviously a really nice option as well. I think they should just play both of them, because when Isak moved to the left against Southampton yesterday, they just played so much better, and I feel like both of them should just start. I don't know why they wouldn't. I don't know why he's playing Gordon. Like, Gordon's just... I've never rated Gordon at all. I don't think he's a very good footballer at all. And with the amount of chances he was missing in that game, and, obviously he got subbed off, and then Wilson got brought on and everything like that, it just changed the game completely. I don't know why they start. I don't think Gordon starts again, to be fair. I just don't think he's good enough. But yeah, for this Leeds Brighton, I mean, like, who do you pick out of both of them if only one starts? So it's going to be an interesting one, but a lot of people are bringing in Wilson. It will be also interesting to see who takes penalties as well if both of them are on the pitch. But yeah, Wilson currently being brought in by most managers. Of course, there's not like a lot of change at the moment because there's still half a game week to go. So maybe if there's injuries and stuff, this will all change. But Rashford also being brought in by over 35,000 people. Again, that's just simply because of the doubles that United have coming up in obviously 37. They've got some nice fixtures as well, West Ham and Wolves. They've just got nice fixtures for the remainder of the season, to be fair. And then Estepinian as well being brought in by a lot of managers. I mean, the back-to-back double is obviously why a lot of people are bringing in the Brighton players, but at the end of the day, they're not easy doubles. Like, Arsenal-Newcastle isn't a great double for a defender. They're both away games as well, so even as an Estepinian owner, I don't think he's going to get many points from those games at all. I don't think they'll keep a clean sheet in any of those games. It depends if he gets an assist. And then, I mean, Southampton at home, obviously fantastic fixture, but then they've got City at home as well, so out of those 4 fixtures, 3 of them are pretty difficult. Obviously, they've got United in this double, but then they've got Everton at home, which is a nice fixture. And then, I mean, Villa away is also a tough fixture, so obviously, you want your Brighton players in for the fixtures coming up, but I don't know. From a defensive standpoint, I don't think they keep a ton of clean sheets in the remainders of these games, but it is what it is. And then also, Gross is being brought in by a lot of players as well. I think that's just simply because he just did bag too. There was a point in the season where he was bagging like all the time, and then obviously the manager changed and everything shifted. But yeah, interesting that a lot of people are kind of jumping back on him. But there's nothing in here about like Welbeck or anything like that. And then Mings also being brought in by a lot of players. I mean, I don't know. I feel like if you have Mings, then obviously you keep him, but I don't think he's the player to bring in. Like, Wolves away is obviously a nice fixture, but then they've got Spurs at home, Liverpool away, and then Brighton at home. That's some pretty tough fixtures for the remainder of the season. I don't think Mings is really going to return a ton in those games, so it is one of those things. Obviously, if you have him now, you keep him, but I don't think I'd waste a transfer on him because he doesn't have any doubles. Like, all your transfers now should be to be like really bringing in double game week players just so you can maximize your chance at getting points. But anyway, they're the most brought in players this week. Let's move on to the most transferred out players. And Watkins is being transferred out by quite a lot of managers. His purple patch potentially could be over, has blanked 3 times. That was their first loss in a very long time as well. I think it's the first game they haven't scored in ages. But yeah, didn't have a great game really. But yeah, again, same as Mings, like, he's a little bit better of an option because I think Watkins can score in any of these fixtures, but at the same time, there's doublers that are going to be in those positions. Like, you'd be bringing in like maybe a Jota, or you might be bringing in a Wilson or an Isak or someone instead. Tony also being transferred out by a lot of managers. Liverpool, West Ham, Spurs, City, some tough fixtures for Brentford. And then also Mitoma, which I don't know why Mitoma's being transferred out. Like, you have a player here that's got a lot more fixtures than other teams, and you're transferring him out. I don't know who they'd be getting rid of him for, but interesting to say the least. Saka also being transferred out by a lot of managers. Kind of understandable. I mean, they don't have the greatest fixtures. They've got Newcastle, Brighton. I mean, Forest and Wolves is pretty good for the remainder of the season, but around game week 37 is going to be a lot of other teams doubling, even though Forest away is a pretty nice fixture. And then obviously Wolves at home. I feel like you'd be bringing in Saka for the last game of the season, but It is what it is. And then Grealish as well. I think he's got like 3 1s in a row or something. He's not been playing great. I mean, to be fair, he was a little bit unlucky not to get a return. A lot of his shots were tame, but he did have that shot where Leno kind of tipped it onto the crossbar, which was a really nice save. But again, he's a player that I wouldn't necessarily want to get rid of. They've got some really nice fixtures. He seems to just be starting every single game. Now that Foden's back, there might be a little bit of rotation. And I hope there is, because I don't own him, so hopefully he does get rotated out in that West Ham game, but it's unlikely. And then obviously they double in 37, so in Leeds and West Ham, I mean, Leeds and Everton coming up as well. It's not really a play I'd be getting rid of for those fixtures. Like, Leeds at home is going to be a ridiculous scoreline. I could see like 6-0 there for City, easy. Yeah, they're the most transferred out players this week, and that's the situation so far. Of course, there's a long way to go for double game week 34. But how are you doing with the current game week? Obviously, we have, I think, Leicester, Everton tonight, so I've got no one playing tonight, and then we have Arsenal, Chelsea tomorrow night. I've got no one playing in that night in those games, and then I have like 2 on Wednesday, which is Salah and Haaland, which isn't great because there's people with a lot of other players. And then I've got 6 on Thursday, so it is one of those things. But anyway, that's everything from me. If you enjoyed, drop a like, leave a comment, subscribe. Until next time, peace.